if you'd allow me, I will change gears a little bit. We'll play a game. It's called Garifuna Mass, where I'm gonna show you some images and I'll ask you to tell me those images, the name of those images in Garifuna. Okay?
All right, I'll do my best and I'll try.
Okay, that's what matters. That's what
Yeah.
matters. Okay, let me change my screen. Let's see here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see a screen.
Okay, great. So this is the first image. It's of Garifuna people.
Mm-hmm.
How would we say Garifuna people in Garifuna?
Uh, Garifuna, Garinago,
Very good. And what do you observe in the image?
Abinaha, Ane
Being
Garang,
they're dancing, they're playing the drums.
Hey, Lehi K Haremo again.
Mm-hmm. Seems like they're singing.
Ane
And it,
Aba Flaso Hafedo.
right, right.
Uh,
Been they're at a,
Lehi K Katrikin,
an
K
event
Egini,
celebrating. What's that?
Egini. Lehi K,
Pagan. Mm-hmm. Seems like
yeah.
they're enjoying some food as well.
Hagunda Hamago, Hapanta,
Mhm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hafedo Hagiria, Hafedo,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
celebration,
Right, right. Also, you know, Hadorogo,
Adorable. I
very
adorable.
fun.
Very fun.
You know, they're
Yeah, bem Griga hang. Oh, gay for hagi. Oh,
mhm.
adore gay for. You said nana. You said no, not doing the game no way.
Right. Um,
That
you know,
chicky.
they're wearing their hamu sweat,
Almost wet to
egili, you
chegi.
know.
I
I always forget how to say skirt. Uh,
yeah
I
yeah.
always forget.
Mm, yeah. You're gonna come back to my brains.
Me too, eventually. Okay, that's one. So this is the image of a church. How would we say church in Garifuna?
Igilisi.
Nugilisi,
Baru.
Baruru. And how in the Garifuna culture, how would we normally use
Uh,
plantains, green plantains?
Plantains. Use is one of the main food that we use, a popular food that we use, and they call it hodot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's the boiled plantain, and you mash the plantain with a hana, we call it hana, and then you you can eat it with my coconut milk, whatever you call it, gravy. So it could be some like it chicken, they call it chicken, make out of flour and stuff. But some normally use with coconut milk and fish, uduru. And so that's what the plantain basically used as one of the main Garifuna dish.
Mm-hmm. And this is the image of coconut,
Faluma.
paloma. And in our culture, our Garifuna culture, how is it used?
You is used for many things. Coconut have so many benefits as well. Um, they use it for the water. They can drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they can use the husks for fire
Mm-hmm.
to drive away some flies. And
Mm-hmm.
um, the meat inside it can be used for coconut milk. Is they squeeze out the milk inside.
Mm-hmm. And grate
Right.
it into
Great.
the smaller pieces. Mm-hmm.
And then you can use the trash as a way of looking shiny like me, for the skin. It's good
Mm,
for the skin. I used to saw my aunt used to use those things that time. They made the coconut trash and just take it and rub the greater one and just rub it on the foot.
mm,
And also the coconut can use they use coconut oil, which
mhm,
is kind of rich. A matter of fact, they say coconut oil is as good as olive oil.
mm,
So I don't know. Yeah, it's good as olive oil. So we have a very rich, I get to understand that a balanced meal with the coconut and the plantain. The plantain is good for your brains as well, and it
mm,
helps with the cancer. Uh,
mm.
if we boil the plantain and use the water, now I used to throw away the water. I
Mm,
use the water to make my coconut, to make my gravy, la susu, Uh,
mhm,
so yeah, and they have so many use that they can be used. And then the hard shell that we inside, it's used for jewelries.
mm. Oh
You can
yeah, I
cut
see
it
that
up
too.
and then
Yes.
you can use it as a cup, you know,
Mhm,
and they use an earring, and then they have like the bangles. So it's it's very one item could do a lot of stuff.
mhm, mhm. That's what I like about you know, w- our people. They're very innovative and they can do so much with one thing. And this is an example of that. And this is a picture of
Uduru,
fishes, a fish.
uduru, uduru.
Noodle.
Yes. Right? Um, it's just sad that they told me that I'm not a Garifuna because I don't eat fish. I don't like fish.
What?
Yeah. So I
Mhm.
respect everybody that love fish. My father was a fisherman, and it's just like a psychological effect you have on me.
Mm.
Because I saw my sister was cooking hudut, and she took the fish and she put the fish in the gravy. And when it's time to eat, the fish still look kind of raw.
Uh-oh.
So like I'm not gonna eat that no more. That's a raw fish. And
Uh-oh.
so it's just a psychological effect you have. I mean, but not on a physical stuff. But just that every time I think about it, I think about I'm eating a raw fish. So my
Mm.
sister tried all kind of way for me to like it, but fry it, bake it, whatever it is. But it's not something I will never going to say I don't eat fish. I will
Mhm.
say I don't like it.
Mm.
I really admire people that love it, you know,
Mhm.
and God bless them.
Mhm. I love it. It's a very hearty meal and healthy and all that, but
Yes,
to each his own.
you have his
You know
oil,
why.
omega 3 oil. Let's say you need some of those oil, you need fish oil and this
Mm.
stuff. And it's
For
very,
now, I guess you could just take substitutes, to get you the same,
yeah,
vitamins or nutrients that you need. So that's the good thing about now. You have substitutes. All right, so that's fish, udoro.
we
And
do.
this one is of the Garifuna drum,
Garango, oh boy, I twist some
Gararo.
Garango. Yeah, Garango, something like that, right?
Yeah,
That's the
Gararong. Like Gara and wrong, Gararong.
Garango. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Garango.
And what does the Garifuna drum mean to you?
Um, you know, it means music or instruments that produce music. It's used for different things, you know.
Mm,
Again, like Mr. Rakaitana taught me something about the drum. I really want to thank him for, because he really, um, he said that there was three drum that they use.
mm,
And they're always going to say things. They go, most of the time you see the different people that use like three drums, three main drums, and one is relating to the earth, and one relating to the heaven, and one relating to the people.
mhm,
Something like that. So if I do got it, but something like that. That's our idea. I
mhm,
have to, and somebody was talking about it before, but I think my intervention with Mr. Rai Cayetano, telling me about the Garifuna history, certain things about it. I think that we need to have more of those discussion with our
Mm-hmm.
elders,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that they know certain things that we don't know. And if we allow them to go with those things that we don't know,
Then it will be lost.
you're right. And I think that I don't know if you met Mr. Rai, I don't know if you know Mr. Rai Cayetano.
Yes, yes, he's well known in our,
Well,
Gardener community.
and I think
Mhm,
that we should have some kind of I did was wanting to have some kind of a dialogue with him with the rest of the community, but
mhm,
that never did materialize after 219 after COVID come, and so that kind of die off.
mhm,
But it would be interesting that if we could get some of his knowledge, he have some
mhm,
books that he
mhm.
wrote, so and he can be able to tell certain things, and everybody have their own stories.
Yes,
You may not
I
agree with
agree with this because
what
we
I'm
all have our
saying,
stories. We
so
all, we all have something to share with the world and to, by extension, teach the world. We're Garifuna, but we're still living our lives proud and, you know, proud to be Garifuna and living our lives. And we all have our own journeys, and sharing those journeys can encourage people, especially Garifuna people, young people, to be proud as well and still live their lives. Still pursue their dreams and make their vision come true, as you would say. So yeah. So this one is of the Garifuna flag. How
yeah,
would we say Garifuna flag?
funnily,
Panedera.
funny there, funny there.
Panedera. Panedera Garifuna.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the Garifuna flag mean to you?
It do talk about the journey of the Garifuna people. They say the
Mhm,
black talk about the journey of the Garifuna people, represent the Garifuna people. The yellow represent peace, and I mean, sorry, and the white represent peace, stand for, and yellow talk about the glory, the victorious or the glory. Um, that's why I used to know it many years ago.
mhm,
The victory.
mhm,
Uh, in in my journey in our church, we have it the other way around. So that's like I said, that everybody have how they present certain things, but I said the logo makes a difference
mhm,
because the Garifuna flag is we consider it to be yellow, black, and white, and
mhm,
in that kind of order. Some have it the other way: black,
mhm,
yellow, white, and yellow,
mhm,
and different. You know, so I appreciate Miss Rosita, who have a passionate about trying to have to also understand the Garifuna flag as black, white, and yellow, and she have a lot of history in that area, and
mhm,
those things they also need to be taught and have those way. And the way how I used to know it is black, white, and yellow, and that's the way I used to know it. And so I have it means to in our church that in my ministry, because we are find out most of the guys from that we have a cross in the middle, and it's suggested that we put a cross to symbolize that we stand for Christ, and Christ, and the red cross is stand that Christ cover the blood of Christ cover the Garifuna nation.
mhm,
And so we are covered by Jesus Christ, and he want to die for everybody.
mhm,
So I see that more as a protection and more of a consciousness of God in our present. And but the black is represent us. Now this is what in our ministry is that the black represent my sin that you know um, that that separate me from God, and the white symbolize the spirit of God, wash away my sin, and the yellow represent now I'll be in glory with God. So that's how I interpret it in our way. And but again, we give the original way what the Garifuna stands for, the black, and what it means in our um, services. And that's why we have it the other way, but not because of that way, but just because that's how we have put it for to acknowledging that we are still Garifuna, but this is where we stand. And that's what Garifuna is all about. And I think someone else will come up with another system was calling what color you're supposed to be. This you got to be bright yellow or dark yellow, so or bright, so that's to be the next generation fight. That's not going to be my fight.
Mhm. And this one is of children. How would we say children in
You know,
Garifuna?
Wasanigu, you use the word Wasanigu. One, I got a little tight tongue here with, well, our children, Wasanugu.
Mhm.
Our children, Nero, my child, uh,
Mhm. Or
and
we can say Irahio, right?
Yeah,
Irahio.
Iran. Yeah, we're getting Garifuna, girl. You know a lot of Garifuna.
Well, by in terms of growing up, my mom and dad are Garifuna. My mom spoke to us in Garifuna, but she didn't ask us to respond in Garifuna, so I can understand it, most of it, but in terms of like having
Dialect.
a full conversation or being fluent in responding, that's what I need to work on. But in terms of understanding, I understand most of it.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I know you work uh, a lot with young people, as you say, and I think based on what you've said, you're making a big difference in the community in that way. And as young people, we definitely, when I remember being a teenager, you definitely want to be able to speak to someone, an older person or an adult who who is willing to listen to you, listen to what you say, and is not quick to judge and respond negatively to what you say. That definitely helps to have someone to be able to talk to. And I'm so glad that you see it as your mission per se to be an advocate, you know, for young people. That's definitely very important. So kudos to you um for being that person, that adult who listens and encourages young people.
thank you.
Of course. Oh, and in terms of young people, you've been counseling young people to a certain extent for all these years. You know, do some of these young people, have any of them returned, or are any of them working with you, since they've grown up to become adults? Have any of them come back and work with you in some of the services that you provide to the community?
Yes, I would say not come like hand in hand, but they're inspired to carry on. And that's one thing I do encourage them. Do your own,
Mm,
be independent. And that's the idea, is to help kids to, some of them have their own business. I really thank God for, some of them say, Pastor, I'm gonna help you with your trip to Belize. I will help you with your mission to Belize. And I really appreciate that. Um, but that's another way of coming along. If
mhm,
I have a problem, I could call them and say, listen, I need some, I'm doing a mission over there. Would you like to support me or like to help me here?
mhm,
Most of them are very helpful. Um, some of them stop by the church when they're in town. They are all over different parts of the country. So I really appreciate them. They have their own unique way.
Hmm.
Some I met in Belize. Some so and some of them are doing their own ministry and they're their own
Beautiful.
stuff.
That's
So
your legacy continuing there,
that's the
Pastor.
idea.
Nunez.
Like I
Yeah.
tell mentioned earlier about my one of my bishop Omar. I really was inspired by him. I know he talked many times. He tell the people that there's something unique about me for many years. He's a young guy, and I was saying to God, I want somebody younger who will carry on much more than that. And now he carry on and to expand this work, and they have other people now who's expanding the work more wider. So it's keep going. So I don't know my full generation then, you know, but the reason I stepped back as a leader, great leaders, is to step back and allow the new one to carry on, make their own mistake. But you are there that in case they want advice or direction, that's what you're there for, not to take over, not to
Mhm.
control. Like if I hand over the ministry um, to the pastor to be the president, I'm no longer the president, but I work with the president. And so when people look, oh yeah, Andrew, no, 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 that's the president, and I always respect them to go to the one who's the president. So yeah, we need to let them understand that so that they could carry on. So I don't really yeah, I don't really care if they not that I don't care, but I encourage them to just expand as far as you can go. When it's time to come together, we make it together.
Mhm.
We grew up and we don't know each other.
Mhm. Okay,
I remember
beautiful.
one day my son told me when he was 16 years old, and it's very interesting. He said that when I turned 16, could I go and have my own apartment? I said, and I answered the question when I asked wanted to answer, but I said to him, once you're in this house, you abide by the rules. Oh, when I turned 17, once in this house, you abide by the rules. Oh, when I turned 18, I could go and I said, once you're in this house, you abide by the rules. And he stayed in the house for over 24 years. When he turned 24 or 25, he's out to leave. You know, they were given a message. And if you say we don't attack them right away. Try to listen to what they're saying. And what he's telling me, whatever decision I make, you're responsible for it.
Mm.
So if I say, okay, go and have a go, you can go. If anything happens to him out there, I'm the one that sent him. So I'm responsible for that.
Mm.
So my thing is that you have obligation. You can make one decision. But if you decide to be here, then this is where how we operate here.
Mhm.
If you decide to be out there, then you deal with what's going on out there. I have no business. There's some things we really have to teach. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about kids, but yeah, kids are very interested and we need to teach them to be responsible and be independent. And I really thank God for all those that support and still give me that respect as hey, pastor, young people. I really thank God for what they are doing. And they're involved in so many things in the Garifuna communities. Many of them are inspired, you know, especially some of them all over the place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. All right, so this one is of the sea. How would we
Um,
say sea in Garifuna?
Barana,
Barana.
Barana, right? Barana.
Yes, you got it. And this is of the beach by Hopkins Village, beautiful Hopkins. Yeah.
Uh,
In terms of the sea, how is that important to the Garifuna culture?
the sea have a lot of enrichment, especially we mentioned earlier about the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there where they go and do their fishing, and they live in and part of the sea. They were part the bay, the salt water is very good. to bathe in. It helps with the skin. It helps with the nutrient of the body, and it also have healing. We don't might not see that way, but it does have a lot of healing. Everything around us have a serve for a purpose, and it left us to identify purposes and so forth. And so the sea, the Barana, it's very helpful. The sun where people could go by the sea and relax. So the sea symbolize livestock, and behind is the coconut.
Mhm.
Most of the time, we're going to find the coconut there, and the coconut gets a lot of nutrients from the sea. Um, and then behind the coconut, they were going to have the thing they call plantain. So the the sea is a place of gathering um, for the Garinago people for different things.
Mhm. And this is of the Garifuna Dictionary, which I just call book. How would we say book in Garifuna?
Garad.
Garida. And what does the Garifuna Dictionary mean to you?
Well, it means that helping to identify and to learn more of the Garifuna um, language or words. So it helps to enhance them. One of my minister, he's the president of the Garifuna Council in Honduras, Savio. I just was watching him earlier, but he's when he came to work as a young person, somebody gave me a dictionary. My former pastor gave me a dictionary of Garifuna words,
Mhm.
and so I told him, "This is your task. Your task is to form, to formulate this dictionary because it's in English, Spanish, and Garifuna." And that was one I was given, and the person told me, and that this is the Garifuna word, and somebody had put it together. Is a white lady
Mm.
that put it together, and that's where they got those words. So she was able to translate the Bible from Garifuna into English and able to put some of those words together. This a white lady was instrumental behind it, as well as the Old Testament was also a white man. Not by using color, but just to say how diverse our and how important our language is to other people.
Mhm.
Be able to make sure that the Bible be in our language, so we could be able to read it in our language, and to make sure that you know some of these words, so we could be to enhancing our education or in interest in our
Mhm.
language. So he's Savio. Um, I've oh Fernando Savio. So he have farmer Garifuna dictionary, so he make up, and he have farmer Garifuna dictionary as well, known as the Dumuri Garifuna, Dumuri.
Mhm.
And he was I was very interested that was done, and he used a little bit of idea and he make it bigger, you know, and then he promote the have the Garifuna Bible, and many times I say I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna write a book. I have many things in material I put aside to write, but we haven't published any book yet. But I'm happy that many of our Garifuna young men they are getting to promote publish books.
Mhm.
And that's the idea. If Andrew could do it, I could do it. Because Andrew is not thus. I try not to put myself, that I'm different from you. I'm putting my I could identify with you, or
Mhm.
you could get better.
Mhm.
That I know that. I don't want to say you cannot get. No, you could do better. I do better than my past. My pastor used to ask me questions about the Bible and stuff like. I like your insight. And And that's why I encourage other people, do better than me. Don't try to be better than me.
Mhm.
Just do better. Just
Mhm.
keep on moving. You
Mhm.
know, good opportunity. And if I could have the opportunity to raise you up, that's what I'm here to help you to go up. And even your talk show, I really like to see that advance more. And I hope that when I go to Dangriga, that I know your show is in Dangriga, right?
No, I'm in New York.
Oh, in New York. Oh, you're
Yeah,
close to me.
yeah, Brooklyn. Yeah.
But anyhow, even then, I hope that you might be able to make it to the Garifuna Mass next Sunday.
Mhm.
Uh, where you probably could interview some of the Garifuna people there to let them know what you are, and if you want an opportunity to just introduce yourselves, I could talk with Rosita and let her. I leave her in charge for that. That's her thing. I'm just a facilitator, and
Mhm.
even though I'll also be the one speaking, but she's the one I left. She's the one that is responsible for that department.
Mhm.
So that could also be done. But yeah, that's how the word means that you just have to. It's just kind of hard to talk to a preacher. Sometimes they go astray and stuff. You got so much to say, like you know what, you got so many things to do. But yeah, yeah, because
Okay.
I'm involved in so many things.
Mhm.
Involved in school and involved in doing this, and you know I also have my show. I call it in-depth Bible study. I spend a lot of time to teach people the word and let them understand the word.
Mhm.
Very On Wednesday night, I try to start at 8. Sometimes I find myself start a little bit after 8 because so many things happen that just take away the thing that need to be set up and this stuff. But it's very interested to that's my passion, to teach the Bible.
Mhm.
And that's what I find a lot of passion in that area, and let people understand the Bible for themselves, not
Mhm.
from my perspective, but because God speaks to everybody in different direction. And if I want you to be thinking the way I think and that's the way, I want you to think how God wants you to think. Because then once I that, then I'm manipulating you, I'm controlling you. And that's not my job. My job is not to control or to manipulate. My job is to educate.
Mhm. Okay. So other than what we've spoken about, you know, up to this point, is there any, you know, hobbies or talents that you enjoy other than what we've spoken about?
Um, well, you look like I got ahead of myself, right? But I enjoy working in my community. I enjoy traveling, um, learning. You know, one of my strongest thing is I like to invent things. Um, uh, you know, Community events. I mean, like invent things such as, you know, what, like for example, we have like marathon, um, open a marathon, having people walking from Bronx to Brooklyn. That distance is almost like
Mm,
11 miles, and
wow,
like it seems like wow, can you do that? Yeah, we can do that.
probably not.
Yeah. Sometimes there
Awesome.
was a lady that went to me on one of my walkathon. She was diabetic. She got pressure. You got all kind of thing that wasn't working. And she walked. I was so concerned that, you know what, I don't want nobody fear follow. But we made it. So we can do that. And
Mm,
some people are like, oh yeah, yeah, cannot, no, they can. But we did it. And several years we did it. And I think during because of the time in the pandemic it started coming in, we slowed down a lot of our outside activities. So I enjoy um, doing the work of God. And most of my work is volunteer work. I have passion for that. Um, so my thing, yeah, I would say, when talk about a career, just pastoring, so to speak. But also, I love to educate as a teacher.
mm,
Um, Teaching the word of God. That's all I could tell about. I can't teach you about the stars, the moons. I've never been there yet.
mm,
Uh, but talent, I don't know what you're going to consider talent.
All those are talents because
Yeah.
that's not something all of us can readily do. So all of those that you just spoke about are talents, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
So
You know,
thanks for sharing.
some people have their own way how to talented, like be a guitar player. I don't play instruments, like I told you earlier. If you want everybody to bathe, you could call on me. That I will sing and the rain is going to come down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, talent in my definition is something that you can do very well,
Right.
more better than most people. That's what I call a talent. And of course, it's something that you really enjoy doing. That's what I define as talent.
We have a joke
And that varies from person to person. So,
now.
yeah.
There's a joke my friend would like to talk about. When we went to St. Vincent, and we all three of us went there, Diego, Galileo, and Diego brother, and there was a Pastor Parker. And so we went to Honduras. There were seven of us. Went to St. Vincent on a
Hmm.
tour. We went all over St. Vincent. Valentine, Pastor Valentine. He passed away, I think, last year before. But he was very instrumental. One
As
of the
in
only
Jewish
girlfriend,
Valentine from Dangriga.
no, not just Valentine. His name
Okay.
Peter Valentine. Valentine.
Okay. Okay.
Valentine is a B. Uh,
Okay.
and he passed away either last or year before. One I forgot. Things happen so fast and so forth. And he was so instrumental in helping us get to be educated in the Garifuna community. And he took us all over the place. And I learned a lot of stuff. I went to the prison. We went to
Mhm.
Garifuna people were kept there. We went to. He took us around and that was very good. I learned a lot from
Mhm.
there, and he was so I enjoy traveling a lot. And so my friend was there, Galileo. He's a very instrumental guy, very talented guy in music and very entertainer. And he said, "Well, my brother, you're gonna be my backup singer." I said, "All right." Then I'm gonna be the backup drum player. My goodness, I don't know what kind of thing is that. Must you know. So but he was very good in that area, but instrumental, I'm not oriented in that area. I'm a visionary person. I love visionary. I just spend a lot of time with myself. Sometimes some people see me out of space, but I'm trying to calculate and bring things into perspective and how to present it. And recently, I was talking to some of my friends and say, you know what, I'm going to do a community event. Same thing we've been doing all the time, right?
Mhm.
But oh, they don't see that possible. That's not possible. So that's kind of difficult. Like I was building a community center in Dangriga. I was looking forward to be a multi-purpose, not a church building, but a
Mhm.
building that will serve the community.
Mhm.
That becomes a controversial issue because like, are we gonna have to be a community building and then this and that and that and this and it's something that we're not exposed to.
Mhm.
Here in America, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I use different things. It's to bring glory to God. That's all
Mhm.
about God.
Mhm.
That's my thing. And I've been involved in a lot of community works. And I work with the Baha'i, I work with the Muslim. A matter of fact, I've got Muslim daughter. I mean, spiritual. I call her my daughter. She's young, my neighbor. And, you know, I have all kind of people that I surrounded. A matter of fact, last week I was honored by the Igbo community, the African Igbo community, and as a
I think
contributor
I, I
community.
think I have that photo in there. Yeah.
Yes. Um, yeah, that's around, those are the Hebrew, those are chief of the community, those are elders of the community, they are chief. The tall guy there is my good friend. Um, he's a prince of the Hebrew community. Out of all of them, he's the prince of the leader as well. He worked with the president of the United States. And
Mhm.
so he's the one that drew me into mentorship as being
Mhm.
a part of the, because I was, what do you call it? Last year, um, I was um, I was awarded by the President of the United States a lifetime presidential lifetime achievement award.
Nice. Congratulations. That's huge. Wow.
So, so these guys and the other guy was there too. I took a picture with them, but I don't think I have that kind of picture. And who was the one that brought me to the president as to achieve a World Chief Award, and now this guy, he helped me to become the one of the to as a mentor, which means after you receive the Chief Award, they teach you how to use that so as a mentor in that area. So there's a lot of things that I don't know. I just go into things. People just but I have an agenda. My agenda is to make a window for people to come in and open a door.
Mm.
And so I'm hoping that Chica, my good friend, and then make me be a friend of the Ibu. They are Christian people. They are influential into communities affairs and leadership. So they are very nice people. I have a lot of friends who are he when I send my picture, many of my friends say, "Oh man, you're one of us." Oh yeah, you're Ibu. But I never know them as Ibu. I just know them as
Mm.
different But hey, I was in the family forever since
Mm.
helping food pantry and helping in different community stuff. And if you're interested of our young people and the things they saw, we have providing stuff. So yep, the police, the communities, and the stuff. Many people come around, and around two of my favorite ladies to be queen. So they are queen
Mm.
of equal. So um, yeah. So there are a lot of things that be done. If I give a lot of list of things that have been done in this community, is like, but I've still not stopped. I still keep moving.
Mhm. Mm.
As I teach men, teach people. I'm a chaplain. We teach them how to be a chaplain and stuff there. Um, work in prison, work in different area, uh, train men, and I also been trained by as a chaplain, as a Red Cross chaplain. I'm a medical chaplain. I'm a what do you call it, church chap. I mean, you know, church chaplain or whatever you call it. And now even in my school, I took a chaplain course, and so it's all about serving the community. Everything I do is to help people to get involved.
Mhm.
So you don't look that too easy. Sometimes it's very difficult for people to get involved. But with me, if I in, I want to make you come in. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
close my door. Oh, try to make I look better than you or feel like, oh yeah. No, it's not. The kingdom of God is not like that. The kingdom of God is about serving and to make
Mm.
people better, not to
Mhm.
make yourself better. You're better already. Well, yeah. I'm sorry I take a lot of your time, but I really
No,
yeah.
it's totally fine, This is what it's about, You are a man that have committed yourself to serving the community, serving God and doing a lot and to continue doing a lot. So it's great to be able to hear of all that you've been able to do. So that's great. Thanks for sharing all this. Much appreciated. So now that we've come to this point, where do you see yourself in the next year or the next 5 years? What's next for you?
Um, in next rest of my years coming up is to continue commit myself more into public service. I I would love to see my Garifuna people, and that's what I'm working on, to be economical, economical, develop or stabilize.
Mhm.
Um, that we could be instead of crying that we don't have. Are we are poor or they are poor? Let's cry how we can. We have enough. Who we can give it to? Um, so I want to be more advocate in that area to see this community. So in my parts of my life, I mean, when I started Garifuna Council of Churches, there were three things that was so concerned about. The concern about relationship with God, um, what that means, and to be educated and to be economic. Oh yeah, oh
Economically,
yeah, yeah, economically developed.
the
And
mhm,
so I see those three things already, two things already been carried on so far. And now I'm coming to the stage of rest of my life, maybe the next 500 years, is to spend more time in that area to develop our community.
mhm,
We can do it. I know we can do it, and I know we are doing it, but we don't see ourselves doing it. We
mm,
are looking at others that they are doing it, and we are doing it. We are the one that makes other better, and we don't know that. Some of my young people, some people that say, "Oh, they want me to be a supervisor in their job." I say, "Wow, take it." No, I don't want that and this and that. Me, yeah, that's just so much responsibility and this stuff. You're doing a job. Why don't get paid for a job?
mhm,
You get they are dependent on you. So okay, you don't want that position. That's why I found out many people where they given titles or position, they feel like they're not worthy of it. They
mm,
cannot do it. You know, and I believe we can do a lot of things. It's just that it's the way how we see things or how we perceive things,
mhm,
and that's one of the things that we have to be. We gotta be bold and open for challenges and open for mistakes. I am still making a lot of mistakes ever since I know myself. And I know when I die, it's gonna be a mistake when I die. So I still gonna make mistake when I did. You know.
ah,
So it's just a matter of us, see that way. So that's my thing that I want to see myself to be more into a public service to help our community, either here in America as well as in Belize. I know many years they have asked me to be a councilman for the stuff for the community. I refuse because I don't think that's not what I want to commit my time into because it takes a lot.
mhm,
I just want to commit myself to serve the local, I'll say local people, so to speak. But I work with different people up there to the bottom. So I know to blend within the top, I know to blend within the bottom. And I thank God, you know, these guys just keep pushing me up. And I say it's God, and all this is for my people.
mhm. Okay, beautiful. So if people want to, you know, hear, if people want to reach out to you to connect with you to learn more about what you do or go to the church or be a part of some of the community service or initiatives that you normally help coordinate or your people help to coordinate, how can they reach out to you, how can they connect with you?
They can connect with me, and my number is a very popular number. Is 917-807-9011. And if they have larger thing, they can, since I'm more on this level, my email is Garifuna Council at gmail.com.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. And so we've come to the last question. um what do you want your legacy to be? After you're gone, people hear your name, Pastor Andrew Nunez. What do you want them to think? What do you want them to feel? What do you want your legacy to be?
Um, I told my son, I said, my son, when I die, a lot of people want to know about me. because right now nobody knows about you until when you die, right? And say, oh yeah, she was a good host and this stuff there. So I told him all those papers I wrote, my writings, keep them in a place that's secure. You're gonna be a trillionaire because people don't want to know and see your writings. Even though I write like chicken out of cook, but at least they will see something why this idea or this stuff come about. And but the thing is that I really want people to live with people, a man that serve and love people. You know, um, I love my God. You know, I have my personal relationship with God in different ways. Everybody have their own relationship with God. You know, some feel like why you have to be a politician, why you have to be that, why but the thing is that we are unique in God's sight.
Mhm.
You know, and so it's to them to get to know God for themselves and carry on with that relationship. One of my minister asked me a question in church a couple of weeks ago. He's very interested. I mean, well, again, I'm a controversial person, so to speak. Um, I said my in-depth Bible study is about teaching you what you know that you don't know. Well, that's all. You know, teach you what you know that you don't know. And he said God was speaking to those people in many years ago, and this stuff they have the voice of God and all this stuff. But today, that's not happening today. I said, yes, it's still happening today. Whatever happened last in that time, it happened today. We happen in a different format. What happened to us when God trying to talk to us is that we get caught up with God voice and human voice, and we get caught up with our religious tradition, our religious belief. So we God cannot easy to penetrate through you the way He wants, because first thing I say, oh, well, nobody do that. Oh, nobody knows say that. Oh, this is not how it's supposed to say it. So we get caught up with our religious belief, and then that becomes like a block towards the penetration of God. And I understand that from ever since I was a little kid, that God keep on speaking to me and keep on revealing things to me. And sometimes I just come with a certain thing. I'm like, you know what? They're not everybody gonna like you. Not everybody gonna agree with you because they're not something that we used to. And that's the part I comes in, because if God tell you something to do, He gonna make sure you get it done, with or without you. You know. Um, One day I was in Texas and I said, God told me something, and He said, I said, God, why don't you deal with those guys who are more intelligent, who are more smarter in Garifuna, who are much better in, rich and all this stuff. God said, no, the voice is that I don't want to use them. I trust you.
Mm.
Whatever I ask you to do, you're going to get it done. When I ask them to do that, you're not going to get done. And that was a very responsible and very tough thing that had. And the reason I say that, 'cause I see God doing a lot of things, and I'm not still not doing anything yet.
Mm.
I just stand in the gap. God needs somebody who's going to stand in the gap to represent Him, to be to make sure that certain things are done as He see it done. And so when you reveal those things to people, they may not really understand you. They will think you're a crazy person. Um, when I think that we are enjoyed today from a crazy man, stupid man, foolish man, that's what I heard they call TV Ramos. When TV Ramos was introducing the Garifuna movement, I call it movement now. Um, the benefit for the Garifuna people, oh, you cannot do that, that's not gonna happen. And I heard that's what I heard. So when he was marching down in Dangriga with a flag and say this is Garifuna settlement day, like they look at him, who's a crazy man? He's so crazy, he's so foolish. This was never gonna happen. But he saw something. He fought for the rights of the Garifuna people. He fought for the equal rights. But we never have equal rights, the way I heard. That's what I heard now. Because Garifuna people was considered a different kind of people. They were considered outcasts. So Why is it? And people were just looking down on the problem, but he was looking at the solution for the problem. You
Mm,
need to be known for you to make a change. For you to make a change, you got to make some movement. And those are some of the things we're enjoying today. The sacrifice that this man had made, and the name they have called him, and the things they have said about him. But did he stop? I am enjoying some of his legacy right now. So, those are some of the things that I am looking to continue. Not that I want it to be that way, because when it's dead, there's nothing else you can do and nothing else you can say. You know, you only could look on, you know, and say, oh, yeah, that's my son, that's my daughter. But the interaction of your death, there's not much we can do. But who left behind, and many of us are carrying on this and some of the legacy. You know, you yourself is carrying on some of the legacy.
mm.
Or somebody inspire you some way, somehow you've
Yes,
been inspired.
yes.
So yes, I've been inspired by a lot of people who really have taught me a lot about God and taught me about things, and I have learned my ways how I get personal connected and do what I got to do. So
Mm.
just as a humble man serving God. That's
Okay. All right, Pastor Nunez. Pastor Andrew Nunez, Sarah May, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for giving of yourself. Thank you for all that you've done and continue to do. And I'm so happy that you are here and so willing to share about, the service that you've committed your life to and all the difference, the impact that you've been making in the community and especially in the lives of young people. They're the future, and it's important that we show them positivity, show them the ways or possible ways that they can live their lives and stay positive and keep striving for better and have that vision and have the courage to pursue whatever their dreams are. So thank you for sharing. Sereme, Sereme, Sereme.
Sir may lumabungalo sunkateira.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. So I will give you the last words. Any last words?
You want to give me the last word? That's one thing you don't tell a preacher, man, because you're gonna end up with no words. I just want to say thank you very much for your kindness and your time, and for considering me to be a part of your, a guest on your show. And I wish that the best of your endeavorment of your program will continue to go wider and broader. Even though they have many shows and many people are doing this stuff, but yours, your show is unique, and just keep on doing your uniqueness and bring the message to the world. But there's still Garifuna people around like you, and that's what I did, and that's what I'm doing, is to bring out the goodness of the Garifuna people and to cover up the mentality of that you are nobody. No, we are somebody, and we can make a lot of differences. So your work might not look important right now, but it's valuable for us in the future. And hopefully somebody will hear you next 100 years and say, oh yeah, I remember that. You know, that's the idea why you have today vision for tomorrow achievement. So thank you very much for your time. And I love you, and God bless you and keep you strong, healthy, and wise, and prosper you with a lot of wealth.
Sereme, Pastor Andrew Nunes. Sereme.
Thank you.
Ayo. Thank
Ayo,
you.
feeling you.
Thank you.